Finally, after a 3-year hiatus, Atlanta will be returning for its third season in 2022 after series creator, star, writer, and director Donald Glover shared a teaser trailer via Twitter over the weekend. In addition to sharing the trailer, Glover also let his fans know that he's seen the comparisons that fans have made between his show and Lil Dicky's show, Dave. The two comedies follow up-and-coming rappers trying to make a name for themselves. On Twitter, Donald said, "And just for the record, I'm watching y'all saying Dave is on par. Like y'all forgot what we did. No disrespect, we got black people on here debating, which is better, but I'm the sellout." Today we have our comedy hype analyst, Vanessa Fraction, in studio with Capone and Pierre calling in, and we have to ask, does Donald Glover have a point? Now before we dive in, I do want to lay up a few facts just about the show and its creators and writers. So if you don't know, so the entire writing staff is black and from Atlanta. They have a superstar cast, as we know, with characters that have broke out into their own individual successful careers. They've gotten Golden Globe Awards, NAACP Image Award, Emmys, as well as Cat Williams receiving his own Emmy for season 2. And we can't leave out the groundbreaking episode with Teddy Perkins that is definitely infamous and continues to be amazing. I don't even know, in our community as well as surrounding, everybody knows about the Teddy Perkins episode. Now, I want to start with you, Pierre. With all that in mind, would you say that Donald Glover has a point?
His point saying that his show was better than their show and it shouldn't even be compared?
Yeah, so he's basically saying that, have y'all forgotten what we've done with Atlanta, not only with the show, but just the things that come with it. So taking those things that I laid up for you, and then also, they are comparing it to Dave.
So to compare, yeah. Well, it's almost like comparing a Chrysler 300 to a Bentley. I mean, if they go both fast, you might not know, but when you stop and really look at it and get into it, you will notice the difference. So given, saying that Atlanta is the Bentley and the Chrysler 300 is Dave. I saw a glimpse of Dave. Don't know the show very well, but it's been around how many years? A couple of years now, and they haven't had no really breakout stars that I know of. Saying that they were from Dave, a la Atlanta had those stars breaking out, those great actors. So yes, but it's a hip hop show. It's about a rapper trying to make it. Yeah, there's gonna be some comparisons. That's a normal comparison. They're not comparing that to another show, Scandal. They ain't putting those two together. So yeah, I can see the comparison, but the quality, I would agree with Donald Glover saying, hey, hold on now, we may be next level. We're on some next level writing and so forth. Again, I'm not a huge viewer of Dave, so I can't speak of everything of Dave, but right. From what I've seen, I definitely give it, Donald Glover has a right to say what he says,
Capone, I'll bring that same question to you. Listening to those things and just hearing how Donald Glover feels, do you feel that he has a point?
Yeah, I do. The thing is that confuses me is why is there a comparison for everything? Is it just because it's about a rap show? Because they did it with what's that, the rap show that was on Fox and 50 Cent, and I think that was two different shows.
Empire and Power.
Empire and yeah, Power. So they did that comparison, and they kind of came on at the same time, and it's always that they seem to keep putting us against each other, or I don't know if it's the media or we just doing it to ourselves. But I see he has a point, and I mean, who wouldn't think that their creation is better than the next person's creation anyway, period?
You make a point there. I'll bring the same question to you, Vanessa. Do you think Donald has a point here?
I believe, as artists, as Erykah Badu so eloquently said, she's an artist and she's sensitive about her shit. So is Donald. I can understand why he would be sensitive about his shit, especially because it is so critically acclaimed. It has so many awards. It has so, and he's done his due diligence as an artist, and it's something that, I birthed this thing, and right. It is beautiful, and everybody saw it and was able to applaud it, so I can understand him being sensitive about it. As far as the comparisons, we're in that kind of society, I believe, as Capone was saying and stuff like that, where, it's top 10 this, and you got to do a list and compare this to that, and, people sometimes can't do the thing of just appreciation. Yo, I appreciate this show because it's dope, and yo, I appreciate this show because it's dope. I think even Dickie said that, ours is just poking fun and trying to have fun. That one had a whole tone to it. Like, right. It had it's a movement, it's a moment. The other thing is, like with networks, like with FX, things like that, a lot of their shows kind of have a feeling to it, right. If that makes sense. Like kind of what am I trying to say? A
Like a
cinematic
theme, yeah,
approach or theme. You know, you can tell sometimes when something is an FX show. You can tell if something's a Tyler Perry show. You can tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
just
and
from
you
the way
don't-
it's shot and filters.
just the way it's shot and filmed. And I think FX, as a network, does that a bit. You know, there's
Right.
other shows on there, including the Louis shows, both Anderson and the other one, as
Right.
well as, you know, other stuff on
I know,
there.
and I think that's a great point to add to it that I don't think some people even thought about. So I appreciate that insight. Now, in this series of tweets, he mentioned about being, you know, people calling him a sellout. As we know, he's been called a sellout before in the past. So Capone, I'm going to come to you first. You know, being that I mean, a lot of people feel like Donald Glover is for the culture, but then you have other people that feel like he's a sellout, whether it's, you know, who his partner is or who he's around most of the time. Do you think that he's a sellout for his previous behavior? I'll come to you first, Capone.
I don't know why you came to me first. I don't know Donald Glover's behavior, but I can't see he's a sellout if he's making such great, you know, shows about black people. What is the sellout? Because he got a white girlfriend? What is
A white wife. She said partner. A wife. Wife. W-I-F-E. That's not a partner, but okay. Different commitment.
I don't think they're married. I don't think they're married.
culture? It doesn't matter who you married to or who.
I'm just telling you what the people say. That's what a lot of people feel. So I'll come to you. I'll come to you next, Pierre. What about you? Do you think, you know, being that he has things like Atlanta? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, here it is. Let's be real. He has a white wife and he's very successful. Black people are tired of, or, you know, don't feel a certain way when we cross section, you know, white with. But it seems like more hatred goes to the man if he's black marrying a white woman, because I don't hear nothing about Serena Williams and her husband. I don't see nothing about Jodie Turner-Smith and her husband. You know, when Diana Ross married a white man, with no problem with that. And when Robert De Niro was with a white woman, nothing with that. But whenever a brother goes with a white woman, we got problems. We feel a certain kind of way. It is what it is. Now, with that being said, and then to feel like that white Dave might have took the show idea, whatever, from not idea, but the same thing with Atlanta. That's a weird feeling, you know. Some people say, "Hey, man, we did it first." But okay, cool. But it's been the other way around before. You know, I remember talking to Kim Fields before she started doing Living Single, and this before it even came out. And she said, "Well, we're doing a show that's like a knockoff version, or like a version of the Golden Girls." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So that's where that's what the creators got their idea from. There's a show called Steptoe and Son in Britain that they wanted doing a show called Sanford and Son. So we've all been mixed before. But right now, we're very sensitive about our shit, as she was saying, as Erykah Badu does. If we see it, if we're successful, we want to keep it black. Black writers. If you have a black, spouse or whatever, a white spouse or whatever, you're black. We kind of, we're trying to be easy with it. But internally, we have a certain feel about, racial situations going somewhere different. If a white person takes our TV show idea, we think it is, we get a little frustrated. Or if a white person gets more success from the same kind of show we have, we get a little more upset. If we see somebody have a white partner or a white wife or husband, and they're black and they're successful, we feel a certain way. So I can see the way people feel about the show, but to me, I wouldn't call him a sellout. Now, he has come from the white television world. He was on a show called, I think it was called Community or something like that black people weren't watching. He had a stand-up special that black people didn't watch. He's kind of comes off as a quirky, hip black guy, the way he dresses and acts and conducts himself. Back then, when coming up, I remember him. He wasn't selling no tickets with black folks. Right. And all of a sudden, he came with a great idea with a show like Atlanta, and is blossoming with black folks. Now, some people feel like, hey, is he a sellout from his history? And I say no. I mean, he just came a different way. Boom. Chappelle wasn't.
No, I think you bring up a great point in that, Pierre.
Talk about. So you wrap me up in your life and shit. I get it. So there we go.
I think you're bringing up great points. I just want to make sure that we give Vanessa time to chime in on that as well.
Oh, no worries. I don't need any time.
What are your thoughts on that?
Girl, you go, girl.
Do you think he's a sellout for the previous things that people have brought up? Whether it's
in short, no. I feel like just be true to yourself, and I feel like he's shown that he hasn't budged with who he is as an authentic being. As we're all trying to be, his art has evolved and moved. I think as he, evolves and moves as an individual, and as you stated at the beginning of all this with the full black staff and the full, and all the wonderful black actors that have come from what he's doing, I can't, and even to his tweet that he said, y'all are trying to argue with me about y'all are comparing a white show to a award-winning black show, and y'all want to call me the
sellout,
sellout.
right?
So that was you can only be who you are,
right?
And so I think that I don't know that man. But from what he shows in his artwork, he seems to be an authentic, just being authentic to himself.
Right. So, and I think you bring up a great point, in what Donald Glover said. He talks about, you're comparing a award-winning black show to a white show. And sometimes, I feel, and I know that other people feel as well, sometimes we compare our value, our works to, some type of white establishment, whether it's award shows or different things. It's like, if you don't reach that, then it's almost like, you're not valued in the sense. Mm-hmm. So starting with you, Vanessa, how do you think we begin to value our own works without having to dip into that, with white counterparts or just different establishments that are typically white at the top?
I would say just continue to support one another is one way. I know plenty of people that, that's how, let me say it this way. That's how some things become like a cult classic, as they call it, because it's like, regardless to what other people think, oh, I'm rocking with this. Right. You know what I mean? So I think the more that you show in the way that you spend your money and the things that you do, that this is what I'm rocking with, that's the way that you can bring value to it. Because even though they may not get certain awards, if you will, they can award their family with a good lifestyle. They can get those residual checks. They can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think that's a really good way. And then shout out to BET, who I've worked for many years doing different things, but they're always, shining and showing us and giving us our own awards and spaces where we may feel left out. So I think as we continue to have different networks that are blooming and different spaces, on the internet and so forth, we can celebrate ourselves.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? You can celebrate somebody by posting about how wonderful you think this show is and giving them their flowers while they're still here. So.
Right. No, I like that. I'll come to you next, Pierre. How do you think we begin to properly value our own works?
Kind of like Vanessa said, stop putting the white awards on pedestal. Like when you win an Oscar or you win a Grammy, stop crying, okay? But when you win a BET Award, you ain't crying up there. Why you ain't crying for winning a BET Award? But the tears just flowing for an Oscar or a Grammy. See, that's the part of the mentality they took. Now, when you win those kind of things, you get lofted and put on different situations, more magazines, the bigger machine gets behind you and pushes you to make you more valuable. So when you win an Oscar or you win a Grammy, you're looked at as differently and you get more value. If you win BET Awards, you don't get the same coverage and play. So all that intertwined get you more power and get you more money to take care of your family. And that's why people look forward to winning an Oscar or look up to Oscar and all that. We shouldn't do that. You're absolutely right. So I think we stop putting value on those other awards and just be a value on and even the artists and even the people, like you said, who view it. Enjoy somebody who doesn't win awards. If they're great to you, enjoy that. If Atlanta hadn't won no awards, we still should be a top show to us. We still should love it. Damn if it won awards or not. Stuff don't have to be like Grammy Award winning show, Oscar Award winning. You do all that, then you put that hype on that kind of stuff. We don't need to put it on it. Just say a great show, but I don't hear BET Award winner all the time on stuff. You know what I'm saying? We win something, or, you know what I'm saying? Artists and stuff. So we need to stop doing it. And to make the point, I don't think Glover is a sellout. Look at some of the stuff he had. That song he had, America. That was a deep video and song he had, man. So he's been pushing the envelope for a while. We just coming around to his situation. So that's
right. Now, Capone, I know this is your topic. I see you over there itching. I'm interested to know, what are your thoughts? How do you think we begin to properly value our own works?
First of all, I'm getting tired of you putting me last because
I gotta let you close up because I know you're gonna come so strong.
Everything that I'm going to say, these two get a chance to say it before me. You're 100% right. I am not one of a Grammy or Oscar or whatever award show. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that, and it's so sad because, to put it straightforward, this is their game. This is what they created. And we protest and we see how they treat us, and they go through ups and downs to show us that it don't mean nothing when we get it. Because look at Monique. I love Monique to death. She got pretty much an Oscar, and then she ain't getting no real work like she's supposed to. And even Denzel, and look what he got in the Oscar for, Training Day, out of all the great stuff that he's done. So they put it in our face that this is our game and we're going to play it the way we want to play it. And we just fall for it. Like Pierre says, the crying, oh God, I've been waiting for one of these all my life. Stop, please stop.
No, and I think you bring up.
Just need to support each other. That's it.
No, and I think you bring up a great point, because I remember at one point when Cat Williams did receive, his award, he was saying, he feels like he got it because they were essentially that's what they want to see from Cat Williams. They want to see him, being submissive and all these types of things. So I think you bring up a great point, Capone. So see, you going last just allows us to wrap it up on such a great point, because you do make a valid point.
Copying what these two say. That's all.
You say your own.
It gives you a chance. It gives you a chance to disagree with what I say, so your fans in the comments can be like, yeah, you tell them.
Y'all are not gonna start with me today. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for chiming in on this topic. As always, you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. Do you think Donald Glover has a point in this comparison between Atlanta and Dave? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Don't forget to put it in the comments.
What's mine? Yep. Put it in the comments.
Do you know the comedy culture? Play Comedy Hype, the game. Out now.